Like a rodeo, right like a rodeo, baby. I wanna feel you on the top of my
Woo!
right now.
My pony, my shadow,
Like a honey,
baby. Woo!
Here's what's breaking up
Oh, yeah. What's good, YouTubers and YouTubettes? This is JB Sports back again with another one. We got the last week in of the NFL regular season. We got a couple of games on tap today, and everybody else play tomorrow. And the most intriguing matchup of the day is the Cincinnati Bengals at the Pittsburgh Steelers. The last week, it's been a lot of these NFL prognosticators, NFL aficionados are saying, well, if the Cincinnati Bengals get in the playoffs, nobody gonna want to see the Cincinnati Bengals. The Kansas City Chiefs, they ain't trying to see the Cincinnati Bengals. The Buffalo Bills, they ain't trying to see the Cincinnati Bengals. Remember when Cincinnati knocked out the Buffalo Bills 3 years ago? Remember when Joe Burrow outplayed Josh Allen 3 years ago in Buffalo with a bunch of backup offensive linemen? You remember that? They have one of the most prolific offenses in NFL history. They just don't have a great defense. But if they can get in the playoffs in a team that was in a Super Bowl, 4 years ago, and a lot of the same players on this team, if they can get in the playoffs, they'll be a dangerous team, a team that nobody will want to have to mess around and play in the first round or even the second round if they get that far. But JB Sports is here to tell you that ain't going to happen. It's an infatuation with the Cincinnati Bengals. They need a lot of help. First of all, I don't see them beating the Pittsburgh Steelers. Let's get that out the way. But let's just say they do win tonight, beat the Steelers. They still need the Miami Dolphins to lose to the New York Jets, and they need the Denver Broncos to lose to the JV version of the Kansas City Chiefs, because the Chiefs ain't playing none of their meaningful players. You know, they're not playing Kelsey, they're not playing Mahomes, they're not playing McDuffie, they're not playing Kafalaskis, they're not playing Chris Jones, they're not playing any of their high-end players. You know, it's a 53-man roster, so some starters are going to play because of the numbers game, but a lot of the star players, their core players, their difference makers, they're not playing in that game. But with all that being said, the Cincinnati Bengals are not getting into the playoffs. If they do win and the Broncos lose, the Dolphins probably beat the Jets, man, because the Jets ain't playing for nothing. Now, I just say the Jets do beat the Dolphins. And Kansas City Chiefs do beat the Denver Broncos, and Cincinnati's getting the playoffs. They still going to go home in the first round. They ain't winning at Buffalo. That ain't happening. They ain't winning no Buffalo. They ain't finna pull that off. You mean tell me they gonna go to Buffalo and play them twice in the playoffs and get 2 wins in Buffalo? Even though that game was, 3 years ago? That's not gonna happen. This is a better version of the Buffalo Bills team. And I think these people are just really infatuated with the Cincinnati Bengals, the stats that Joe Burrow is putting up. A lot of people think he should be in the MVP conversation. I don't think so. But a lot of people are infatuated with what he did 4 years ago when he took upstart Cincinnati Bengals team to a Super Bowl, knocked out Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs in the AFC Championship game, went life and death with the Los Angeles Rams, and almost pulled off a Super Bowl victory, which would have been their first in franchise history. A lot of people still are reminiscing like Mary J. Blige thinking about 4 years ago. But I'm here to tell you right now that it's not going to happen. It's infatuation. It's people believing in the tooth fairy. You know what I'm saying? It's people believing in Bigfoot. It's people believing in UFOs. They want to believe in a whole lot of things that they know is not true and not going to be true. And the sad case of the Cincinnati Bengals is they lost some games that they had no business losing, especially the first game to the New England Patriots, one of the worst teams in football. You get that win, then you're sitting pretty going into Pittsburgh. But you didn't get that win. You had 2 games against the Baltimore Ravens you could have won, but your field goal kicker couldn't make no field goals. And in the second game, your running back turned the ball over when you was 21-7 driving in for some more points and was looking like you was finna really put your foot on the Baltimore Ravens' neck. And you allowed him to come back and win in a shootout just like they did in the first game. So with all that being said, the infatuation with the Cincinnati Bengals is cute. it's good to hear people talk about that like it's a realistic possibility. But why you ain't talking about the Miami Dolphins have a chance to make the playoffs? Their probability of making playoffs is higher than the Cincinnati Bengals. But all they got to do is beat the Jets and Denver lose to Kansas City. They don't need Cincinnati to lose. They win and Denver lose, they in. But even the Miami Dolphins know it's a slim chance of them getting the playoffs because they're not even starting their quarterback to Tagovailoa. Now, a lot of people saying, well, he's hurt. You know, he had the problem with his head, with the concussions. You know, he's dealing with a lot of injuries. Yeah, but you mean to tell me if this was like a playoff game that they were playing today, you mean to tell me that Tua Tagovailoa wouldn't be out there? He would be out there. But they're looking at the risk-reward. They say, man, it's a high probability that Denver going to beat the JV Kansas City Chiefs. So why would we chance putting Tua Tagovailoa in a game that might not matter at the end of the day and get him exposed to further injury? We ain't finna do that. But here it is, the Cincinnati Bengals and a lot of their supporters believe that they really have a chance. If they get in, they're one of the most dangerous teams in playoff history to get in as a 7th seed. But it's not going to happen. They need too much help. And first of all, I don't see them beating the Pittsburgh Steelers because the Steelers have a lot to play for. They win and Baltimore lose, which I don't see happening. They win the AFC North. Even if they win and Baltimore win, they go to Houston instead of possibly having a rematch with the Baltimore Ravens, a team that just dominated them a couple of weeks ago. So with all that being said, the infatuation with the Cincinnati Bengals and people saying that if they get in, they're going to do this and do that. Yeah, maybe they could do this and do that, but the problem is they ain't going to get in because they need a lot of help. They need a lot of help. They need a lot of help, and I just don't see it happening. So we will see what happens, and we will see what transpires. Follow me on Facebook, Gerard Briscoe. Follow me on Instagram at JB Sports 3303. Follow me on Twitch at BriscoeJai77071. Follow me on TikTok, JB Sports New Media. Follow me on my 2 YouTube channels at JB Sports, the man, the myth, the legend, 9656, and at JB Sports, the man, the myth, the legend, 8000. And like, share, and subscribe to JB Sports, the man, the myth, the legend. And I holla.